Hey guys, it's almost time for the 2025 archery season. You know I'm a gear guru, so I'm going to do my best to drop every single item that I'm using, not only for my bow, for my arrows, right down to broadheads, backpack, climbing system, and complete mobile setup, right down to the boots I'm wearing, to the e-bike I'm riding. Let's break it down. Hi, my name is Dustin Apple, hashtag White River Rambo. Welcome to the channel. I live in Southern Indiana. I'm 260 pounds, 5'11", and 47 years old. And yes, I'm a mobile hunter. When it comes down to it, I love all of archery and all types of hunting. And well, you can do this. Let me show you how. Now, first off, I'm gonna set the bow down, and later on we'll go back in the yard. I will do a complete bag dump, and we'll talk about the gear I carry and dive into my archery equipment. Since we're out back behind the house in the woods here, let's get into my mobile setup first and break that down. So as you can see, I have a full backpack system, and I wanted to keep this as lightweight as possible. Now, full disclosure, I am wearing my saddle, but this also has my camera gear, my sticks, and my platform, and this complete pack weighs 16.5 pounds, camera gear included. Let's take a look. So this pack is the Tethrd workhorse pack, right? And my sticks here are the Lone Wolf Custom Gear V2 Doubles. You can see all four of them stacking about 2 inches. And then I've got some other accessories here that we'll talk about here in just a second. But this pack is probably the best I've been able to find, and it comes in at about 150 bucks. I think 149 for brown, 159 for camo. I do like mossy oak. And then I have a carbon CFXL. The XL is the larger version, carbon platform from Tethrd. And I did away with the cam buckle, and I'm running an AMSTEEL USA Schwabisch knot from the AMSTEEL Guy. We'll get more into that here in just a second. So I'm at the base of my tree. I have my bow down, my backpack kind of apart, my sticks leaned against the tree. It's time for me to set up and get ready to go upstairs. So I have my platform. That's going to go right here on a loop, okay, right there in my molly. And then my sticks themselves, as you can see, I also have 6-inch continuous AMSTEEL loops, and they are into my sticks. My first one on my right side, I actually have a couple different methods. I have an S-beaner right here on my molly. I actually have a different method over here. There are lots of 3D printed hooks like this that go in your molly system, and they work great with 550 cord or AMSTEEL. I have my lineman's rope attached to this, this D-loop over here. This is my climbing D-loop. I'll just take it and throw it right here while I'm getting ready. Let's talk about aiders for just a second. Now, right here in my pouch, I have a single step aider, okay, with a single attachment point, and I can put that on any stick how I see fit, how I need it, okay, up and down the tree. But on my bottom stick, I will kind of determine how high I need to go, and with experience, you will determine how many sticks you need and kind of plan your climb, right? And right here inside my pouch is a 3-step aider. This 3-step aider simply attaches on my standoffs on this stick, and I'm able to get a lot more climb out of that single stick, okay? The attachment method, just a factory attachment method for Lone Wolf, okay? I want to come across the stick to begin with, go around the back of the tree, and then since I'm running a 3-step aider, I'm going to go all the way up as high as I can, go under, over, and then this last one, I cross hitch it, pull it tight, pull it down, and now I have my 3-step aider all the way to the ground here, and comfortably I can start my climb with just a steady, 90-degree knee. Now, boot selection is very important when you're saddle hunting. A lot of people don't talk about this. These are a Loa boot, okay? Loas, Crispies, even Keens are pretty good. You want an all-leather boot that is protected on the toe, and honestly, for climbing, you kind of need them just a little bit tighter than what you normally would. I don't have hardly any toe room in these, and it really comes in handy being able to feel a tree, feel my platform, and climb very sure-footed, okay? So at this point, I'm ready to go up a tree. I got my platform on, I got my spare sticks on. Sometimes what I will do is this secondary stick, I will take and lay right here. And the reason I do that is to keep sticks from clanging around one another, and I can continue on up the tree. I just climb around that one. And once I get up there, I can go ahead and attach myself to the tree and continue my climb. So there is a difference in this single step aider versus the triple stack aider that I had a while ago, because it is a double attachment point, and the single step aider here I actually have is a single attachment point. So, and it has a cinch on it. Now, there's a couple different ways to use this. I can just go off one end of the stick and use my cinch, and well, it's going to be safe enough for my needs. But you can see it does kind of take the aider and put it out at an angle away from the tree. Whether you like that or not, that's up to you. You can also take it, and with these Lone Wolves, I can go around here and go on the back of the standoff, which is probably the most safer thing to do. And this attachment method actually keeps this away from the tree a little bit. But I also wanted to showcase how I can use this. If you take the cinch and move it all the way back, what you can actually do is come around both of these, and that will actually keep that a little bit wider. It can't go anywhere because it's around both sides, but if you have a wide foot and threading your foot through is the challenge, then possibly that would be how you'd like to do this. And you can see how easily that comes off, and well, I'll put it right back here in my pouch for the next time I need it. So for demonstration purposes, let's just go ahead and imagine that this is my last stick of the climb. I'm going to go ahead and attach myself to the tree, okay? And about here is where I like to work, enough to where I can stay leaned back, but I can also reach the back of the tree. Now, this is about the size of a telephone pole, okay? This is about as small as I like to climb, but I don't like climbing anything bigger than a steering wheel. So what I would do at this point, I would put my lineman's belt up a little higher. That's going to, you know, allow me to lean down, put my knees against the platform, and now I am totally stable, okay? I've got lots of room to work. So with my knees bent, I'm locked into my stick down there. I can reach back and I can grab my platform, and all I have to do is take my bungee off and undo my AMSTEEL. And then I actually like having the knots right here on my side. So what I want to do is rotate this around the back side of the tree, go ahead and take that slack. Then I'm going to take the standoff on my platform, and I'm actually going to put it right up in there and then sit back down. And what that's going to do, that's going to hook that, and it'll hold it right there. Now, the AMSTEEL that I have on here is known as a double Schwabisch knot, okay? And basically, it's two Prusiks that are designed to work with AMSTEEL. Now, this doesn't go on the button. I'm actually going to go double here, okay? So I want to slide this back. I'm going to use that double. I'm going to go around the front, okay? And then I have another one here. What I want to do is pull this taut and then take my double and put it on. Then I'm going to pull the tail, and you should be able to kind of wrap it around your hand and pull that, and it will cam just the way you want it to, okay? That's tight enough. I don't have to just go He-Man with it. But once I stand up, I should be able to push this down a little bit, and it will grip. Now, what I like to do is step on this with my foot if I've hung this low enough. Sometimes you can't. But I'll go ahead, climb up here, take my lineman's belt, and get it as high as I can, okay? Get it up here and then get my knee above this and just push it down a little bit and then cam it down. And that's really tight, okay? So from this point, I can go ahead and put my tether on and continue to hunt. Getting down the same way. The reason I like this setup is because it's lightweight. It stacks very, very small and nimble. The entire system is only 16 pounds in the pack, and with the different aiders, gives me the ability to hunt, you know, 8 to 10 feet off the ground, or possibly as high as 22 plus. So as far as the saddle goes, I've actually resorted back to running a Phantom XL. I actually have a ultra lock or a lockdown, depending on what year you're going off of. I like both these saddles quite a bit. However, the ultra lock is a little bit more bulky, and to be honest, I don't hunt more than 4 or 5 hours in a sit. So having this is a little bit lighter weight. It breathes a little bit more. With the straps on here, I can absolutely lift the whole saddle up and shorten my straps, which keeps it up off my butt, walking in and out. And honestly, it is more mobile. That's the whole point. Once we get into November and those longer sets become more of a necessity, I might actually get that lockdown out and, you know, fill it full of more snacks, more water bottles and things of that nature to keep me in the tree a little longer. But when it comes down to it, right now, early October, I'm bouncing around in and out of the tree and in and out of the truck. A 3-pound saddle is a lot more attractive than something that's almost 6. So to take this double Schwabisch off is pretty easy. Just take tension off of it, grip it right here, and just push that back. That allows you to take the double off and then the single loop off. And it's pretty easy to just wrap this up completely. And the system that I've got here works out really well. Little piece of bungee cord on the end. All I do is wrap it around the corner of the stand, and that's enough to maintain everything. And I can just take this hook, swing right back around there, and then find that loop. And, well, that's good enough for getting me down the tree. Looks pretty good. So when it comes to putting my sticks together, it's pretty easy. This style of almost piano cord, it's meant to wrap around the standoffs. There are small little notches here on the end of the standoffs. Now, Lone Wolf recommends that you do one stick on one side and the next stick on another. I found that you don't have to do that. It's not that big a deal. Just by lining up the these little plastic standoffs here in the holes, you're able to get everything nice and tight. And then it comes with some Velcro. As you can see, I put a small piece of zip tie here to be able to find that in the dark. It's real easy to grab that now, but that is my complete set of sticks. It's all one unit, and then I have the ability to not only attach this to my stand, but be able to rotate all of my different aiders as I see fit. Now, back to the pack, I'll take my platform, I'll put it right in there. 4 corners on the panel. Pretty easy. And then as far as my sticks go, I can put them this way or this way. I've recently changed to doing this because I actually have I have my 360 camera right here in the top. So I'm going to go right here. I like going around the bottom of this. That prevents the sticks from walking downhill. Okay, that keeps them up high here. And then a belly strap in the middle. And then one more strap up high. And that is my entire system right there in that pack, ready to go. Now you also notice that this pack has lower back supports, but I tend to not use them a lot unless I'm on a longer hike than normal. I use my chest strap here, and then I will actually take these back straps and fold them up underneath for lower back support. And, well, I'm ready to go back to the truck. It's just that simple. So now let's take a look at the rest of it. All in all, this system is not cheap, but it absolutely, to me, is very, very efficient. So I'll just go ahead and pop my stick and stand off here real quick. So once again, this is the Tethrd Workhorse pack. It has MOLLE on the top. Lots of accessories in this lower pouch. I actually have thermocell in there if I need that. There's my 3-step aider. There's more MOLLE here. And then this is actually a padded a key pouch, or you put your phone in there. It's got kind of fleece lined. Okay, I got my Olight in there. And then the main compartment, the biggest compartment of all of it, lots of room in there for everything. I think the only other thing that I have in here, there's another pouch right here, and I've got my knife in there. So I got a little bit of scent elimination spray over here, some Scent Assassin earth scent, and then on this side over here, I would put a water bottle. I think I got a puffer bottle in here too. Yeah, I always keep a puffer bottle with me. That's it, guys. That is the amount of gear that I take to the woods. Now, once again, all of my sits are 2.5 to 4 hours long. All you need to carry with you is the things that are keeping you in the tree. So a bottle of water, a pack of crackers, you're going to be fine with that. My side pouch over here, I literally keep release, and then what else I got in here? Oh, the attachment point for my camera, pack of crackers, and a fruit snack, and that's it. Sometimes I carry a rangefinder, sometimes I don't. Hunting here in the Midwest, all of my shots are going to be less than 40 yards, and I don't really need a rangefinder. So when it comes down to the camera system that I'm running this year, I've got everything I need right here, as well as my cell phone, and my cell phone will go right here on the Mag Pro mount from Painted Arrow. Okay, obviously you can run that on top of a stabilizer bar, but with this particular setup, I don't need a stabilizer bar, so I just have it mounted to my secondary hole there. But the rest of my system, this is an Insta360 X5. Okay, it gives me 360 video in 8K. And then where'd my mount go? I just had it in my pocket. Oh, right here. Okay, so this is from Hawk, and you just simply pull it back like a like an air hose chuck, and then this screws into the tree, and I can rotate this however I want to. Now, ideally, you would have this away from the tree a little bit more, but I plan to actually put it as high as I can right over top of me. Or if I know my shots are going to be on the left, I will rotate it around the tree a little bit. Okay, that's going to get me, the bow, and everything, you know, within 30, 40 yards of me pretty good. Now, 8K is going to allow me to zoom in fairly good. It's not going to be perfect, right? But the name of the game is get as much footage as possible and then edit it the best you can. Ultimately, the best shots that you see on hunting television are with a 200 to 400 zoom lens on a DSLR or a cinematic camera, and a one-man show is not going to be able to do that. Just to double my footage and give myself another view, I also have a GoPro that I can mount on my head, on my shoulder, or mount to the tree as a selfie cam. Okay, I have another one of these mounts, and just mount it to the tree in wide angle. That gets me as well as whatever you know, is going on around me. That's it for my camera gear. That's it for my backpack. Now, as far as release goes, I'm a wrist rocket guy. Hate me if you want to, that's okay. This is kind of a Frankenstein deal. A stand wrist strap, and then I took an old True Ball Tornado, and or is it a Tornado or a Copperhead? Anyway, it's just something that I threw together. When it comes to my bow, now many of you know that I have lots of different bows. Okay, I will probably hunt with 3 to 4 different bows this year. This is my bread and butter right now, something I've worked on most of the summer. This is a APA Black Mamaba Pro. I believe it's 31 inches axle to axle. It's making 61 pounds, and with these 507 grain arrows, I do believe, I'm getting right at 260 feet per second with a 28.5 inch draw length. So lots of power. Not the easiest thing to work on. The timing and everything on this is fairly sensitive. But once I figured it out, I was able to bare shaft tune out to 30 yards. And I did so with these, which are Warhead Arrow Company Tomahawks, okay, a 4mm shaft. And then I have a reflective Bowtique wrap, and these are DCA Super Saber vanes, okay? And the reason I'm shooting Super Sabers is all because of Precision Archery's test. I don't remember what the FOC on this build is. It really doesn't matter. I bare shaft tuned these out to 30 yards, and I found that this system was working really well for the length of arrow that I cut. This is a 55 grain outsert, and then a 125 grain VPA vented 1.25" cut. So big cut, big hole, a little bit of FOC, and a perfect tune. And I honestly have been shooting this bow better than I've been shooting a lot of bows in a very long time. It's very surprising to me that I'm able to get that precise of flight and even broadhead characteristics out of this setup. But recently my TikTok discussion was about stabilizers and things of that nature, and I thought, you know, I would like to have a little bit more mass weight because this bow was just a little shaky when it come to pin float. And I reached back into my bag of old stuff, and I found this old stabilizer from the early 90s. I think it's a Cobra. It's literally a probably 2-pound chunk of steel. Probably not that much. It's probably a pound though. And just slapped that right on there. And when I tell you this bow went from being a little lightweight and a little shaky to dead in the hand, wow, what a difference it made. So if you got a lightweight bow, that's great. But if you are not someone who puts miles and miles and miles in, put the weight where you need it, find out what works for you, and then send it. So as far as sight goes, I'm actually running a IQ Pro Hunter. The top two are solid, and then the bottom one is a Rover. I've got that Rover shooting out to 60. Generally would never take that much of a shot. And then I have a 4-arrow airlock tight spot quiver with the secondary up here. This secondary arm actually made this quiver usable because before that it was not. I actually bought this last year and I tried it and it made so much noise that I couldn't stand it. Um, Number one, arrow flight. Number two, the silence of your bow is paramount. You can see I've got some monkey tails, or what are these called? Apex something or other. But you know, that's enough for string noise. But the bow itself actually comes with limb dampeners on the inside of the limbs. But that quiver was noisy and I couldn't stand it. But when I bought the secondary arm, it quieted everything up, and well, it's a good looking setup. Obviously, I have the QAD MX2 on here, micro adjust, to be able to give me all the adjustment that I need. And then the other devices in this bow, they just keep going on and on. This is the MPB, the multi-position balancer system. Actually has a weighted system here on the back, which gives me more of a back bar feel. And then out front here, we actually have a winch that is mounted into the bow. Okay, that winch has got like 25 or 30 feet of rope in it, and I can just wind up my bowstring as I need to. Up here in the riser, I've got a knock wrench, I've got a broadhead plier, and then I actually have a broadhead sharpener as well. So as you can see, this bow has way more features than anything that is offered here in America. APA is obviously a Canadian company that not a whole lot of people have heard of, but if you ever get the opportunity to shoot one, it definitely is a handful because they are performance-minded bows. But if you drop a little bit of weight, it's going to feel like pretty much every other thing that you've shot. I think all in all, this has my entire system covered up. I think you guys can pick your own water bottle, can't you? So we'll wrap it up. That's today's video. I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you've been following my socials here lately, we've been talking about swag, and in the very near future, I'm going to be offering some of these Bottomland Richardson 111 hats with the logo. And if you want one, you have to be following my Facebook page at White River Rambo. Be careful now. I have 3 Facebook pages. Just the one that says White River Rambo. That's where these will be offered in the very near future. Well, boys and girls, last thing to talk about is my e-bike. Now, e-bikes are kind of all over the place when it comes to quality, power, and, well, ability. When I bought my e-bike, I had a few things in mind. One, I definitely wanted a fat tire bike that was capable of mud and maybe a little bit of snow, definitely capable of pulling out a big whitetail and, well, honestly, my big ass, because I'm not a light dude. I wanted something that was going to be easy to use, easy to maintain, and, well, get me places that I never would go on foot. This is a Faceoff Switchback, and I built my own custom rear rack to it, and there's a little bit of ingenuity that went into all that, but being an aluminum fabricator, that was pretty simple. Um, I've already taken the bike down to Mississippi, to Kentucky, and turkey hunted here in Indiana as well. And I've probably only put, I don't know, 70, 80 miles on the bike in the spring, but killed a few birds, had a good time, and, well, now it's time to take it into the deer woods for the first time. It is 52 volts and 160 Newton meters. Basically, that means that it has a lot of power at low end torque. Now, if you notice, it is chain driven and it is only single speed. That single speed with 8 electronical gears allows me to go slow with a lot of torque and a lot of control. Just thought I would take my bow, throw it in the rack here, and oh, looks like my phone mount might be an issue. Okay, well, not ideal, but maybe it's good enough for today. We may have to change this up because it was fitting in there perfect before. Got her on there. Let's go up to a 2. This would be, I would consider this to be kind of demanding. Some logs here. Obviously, you don't want to end up in the briars. Open fields and grass, this thing is amazing. This is foxtail, and it's probably close to waist high here. And this face ball just does not care. That's where it really excels. Just going up and down a grade like that, it's pretty awesome. All in all, badass unit. Now, obviously, these aren't cheap. All e-bikes aren't cheap. I mean, they start in $1,000 price range, but this one was about 7 times that. There's a huge gap between getting started in an e-bike and then getting something that's fully capable of off-road, fully capable of dragging 300 to 500 pounds behind it, and, well, doing it for miles and miles and miles. You know what? It's not that bad. I could put some steel strips on that, but I don't know. That's kind of pushing on an arrow. Might have to get rid of the phone mount. I don't know. Anyway, definitely had to highlight the Faceoff hunting e-bike. If you guys are interested, find their Facebook page. Dieter Cochran is the owner, and like, he's a hell of a dude. We'll answer any question that you have. So if you want to take your mobile game to the next level, check out Faceoff Hunting Bikes. If you want to look at some of the broadheads that I've been using this year, you can go and look at some of the last couple videos. Discount code Rambo10, vpabroadheads.com. I appreciate y'all tuning in on this episode. Don't forget to wear your personal flotation devices and tree stand harnesses. We're out here chasing God's critters. My name's Dustin Apple, hashtag White River Rambo. Leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing this deer season, how you want to improve your mobile hunting setup, and any questions you might have. We just might feature it in next week's video, and I wish you all the best. If you want one of these hats, you better be following my face page. I'll see y'all in the next one.